Ham Radio Prep is the fastest and most effective program to study for your ham radio license. Our complete multimedia course makes it easy to pass the ham radio license test, even if you're a beginner. Study at your own pace with 10 step-by-step lessons that are simple to understand and cover all of the official FCC questions. Take our course and you'll pass the exam on your first try or your money back, guaranteed. Begin your journey to becoming a licensed ham radio operator.
Sunday night, there it is right there. What's up, folks? Ham Radio 2.0 Sunday night live stream. And I had someone come by this is coincidence is all it was. Had someone come by the channel and say, hey, it's been a while since you've done a build video. And one guy said, hey, you never do any build videos. You're always doing those top GMRS HTs and best HT for 2022. And I'm like, yes, because that's what you are searching for. There's a way to go into YouTube and figure out what people are searching for any topic you want. The best ball caps worn by KM9G. You can search that on YouTube and you can see who is actually doing that. Or you can't see who it is, but you can see what they're searching. So, best ham radio. What is that? It's my beer. Anyway, so we're gonna do a build tonight. Now this is something I've been wanting to do anyway. This is actually I bought this a couple months ago, Mac, now, and we are going to try to put it together tonight. This is what it is right here. Here's the wire. It comes like this. This is how it comes. Okay. It comes, and I find it oddly, I don't know what the word is. I find it oddly satisfying that it comes with, where did those go? Oh my gosh, did I lose them? Yeah, right here. Okay. It comes with two stickers, two of Chuck's stickers, and nobody else's stickers. And I don't know why, but that's Coffee and Ham Radios and two of Chuck's stickers, two. And I don't know, I found that oddly satisfying. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just a jackass. But that's just that's kind of how my mind works anyway. I unmuted the Zoom. Those guys can hear me talking right now. So let's bring on the nice guys from Coffee and Ham Radio who designed this thing and went through several renditions of it, and I believe this is the second one, if I'm not mistaken, besides the prototype. Third?
37.
37th? Okay. Well, I know you had a prototype.
Stuff. A lot of arguing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Mistakes were made.
You had a prototype, and then you had the one called the Artemis, and this is the Apollo.
Yeah.
According to the paperwork, according to the email I got when I ordered it, this is the Apollo.
So
I don't know.
So Jason, can I explain the stickers?
Sure.
No,
Chuck,
just
can
leave
you
it.
explain the stickers?
Don't.
Well, I'll tell you later then. No, you asked for stickers in when we were in.
I did.
And there they
and
are.
I had some with me that day.
Pretty
and
sure.
I totally forgot to give them to you.
Oh, you mean from Grand Canyon? Okay.
Yeah.
Quick, everybody in the chat, ask Chuck for stickers.
Ask Chuck for yeah.
Sticker.
How that works.
Chuck, can I have some more stickers?
You have to promote me on your channel like Jason has.
Right.
I would love to have you on my channel. All of y'all, anytime.
I'm just
Zing.
kidding. I'm building right now, actually.
Zing.
Something else.
So
Jim.
yeah. So
feeding video to us if you care.
Who?
You. We just
I am
got your
too.
logo.
Oh, blah. Whatever, Frank.
There we go.
There's a reason I keep Frank around sometimes. So okay. So if I go,
Looked like it was 27 pounds. Are you? Is that a heavy keyboard or are you just a wimp?
I was trying not to knock my camera, my little webcam over here. Although I'm not using that webcam tonight, so I don't really care. But
Probably like me, he's got like 20,000 things on top of his desk or something, you know.
Well, that's
every good amateur radio operator.
We're guys. We're
Right.
hands.
Clear mine off.
I actually went and cleaned out my shack, believe it or not, and I did record a video. So I've got a crap ton of stuff to give away. So I'm going to be giving away a bunch of stuff on the Discord channel probably, and doing that kind of thing. So. So I went, and that's when I found a bunch of stickers from Chuck. Now these aren't the ones I'm selling, but I I put these up earlier today. I have got this sticker combo pack on my website, shop.hamradio2.com. It's got, okay, I'm not going to mouse over it. It's got, you have the option to buy it with or without the challenge coin, because I haven't sold the challenge coins to date. I've just been giving them away. But now that someone else does my fulfillment for all my T-shirts, I haven't found myself giving away as many challenge coins, so I need to get rid of them, because that was the 6-year coin for a year and a half ago. But I've got a hologram sticker, a red sticker, those white ones down at the bottom. That's actually a magnet, and then the coaster and the koozie, all with my logo on them. And then you get the Ham Radio Happy Hour sticker as well, so you can go on there and do that.
What happened to the sticker pack we were talking about doing together?
We never did it. I would like to put multiple sticker packs on here.
Yeah.
So this is I just put
Great
this up
idea.
today.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys.
We
have
were
done
talking
that, I
about
think.
that for a while.
It's
But
like
yeah.
you steal
So-
from the greats.
I know. Yeah. Well, yeah, but it's my logo. So
You were giving me a bad time about those
So-
that down at Yosemite. Hey, Chuck, there's a bunch of stickers in there. You told me in the store. Remember this little store there?
oh yeah. That's right. Yeah. So I've started putting stickers on my truck. So I've got
Oh.
stickers on the back window of my truck now. So,
Mhm.
but that's that's a thing. So
But
anyway,
we
so
can
the sticker
finally
pack's up
buy
there.
your coin. My coin's been on sale on your website for a while
Yeah.
here. I
Yeah.
got about 40-ish left. And
Mhm.
now we can purchase yours. We can get the
Good.
collection going. And how many
Good.
other amateur radio YouTubers we can get to make expensive coins?
Yeah.
I don't
yeah.
have coins. I don't really sell anything like that. I do have a shirt,
So-
but
What do you
I
mean
don't
I'm gonna have
sell.
to unwrap this thing? Shoot. Okay.
So what we're doing
yeah,
tonight,
so,
Jason?
So we are going to build this infed half-wave antenna,
Don't throw
which
that
I love.
crap away.
I love infed. No, I'm not going to. I've got a bunch of these actually. I bought a whole pack of these on Amazon.
Nice.
Yeah, those
But,
things are very handy.
Yes,
They
they
are.
are. I've got some with the loop and some that are just the Velcro by itself. Huh.
there's
900
different styles for different things. To tell you the
There's
truth,
900
'cause
feet of wire here, so. But yeah, okay. So it's gonna take a second. So okay, you guys talk about the history of this antenna. It's gonna take me a minute to unwrap this thing. Go ahead.
Well, which one do you want to know about? The latest one,
Well,
The
this is
Apollo.
this is the Apollo.
the Apollo.
So yeah. So what's the difference between this and the Artemis?
Mercury?
I guess.
oh, the Artemis.
I don't-
The winder.
Oh, is that just the winder? Okay.
The winder was
we-
kind of squared off. We smoothened it.
We
Okay.
we hired Thump to redesign to make
Okay.
ours look a little bit nicer. You know, it was
Okay.
pretty nice to start with, and it just the guy's Thump's amazing with that stuff. You know,
Yeah.
he's really
Yeah.
good with the digital with the making stuff like designing stuff.
So this is a good question. Oh, by the way, shout out to all the guys in green text in the chat, YouTube channel members. Appreciate you guys being here tonight. I usually do that up front, and I forgot to tonight because
Oh, we don't have to dance either. That's
running.
awesome.
Yeah,
Thank
no,
you.
we don't have to dance.
I'm
We
holding.
don't do any dancing. Nobody wants me to dance. So James is asking 80 or 160 meter, and here's the beauty about an infed half wave: it's whatever you want to make it.
Yeah,
However
that's
much wire you want to put on it.
The kit comes with enough wire to do 40. You could probably do, I don't know the math on this, Chuck. You could probably do 80 without the counterpoise. But, Ape recommends the counterpoise.
You
Always-
would be
This
Oh,
seems
these
like
just
more
always
wire
look
than for
short.
40.
you'd still be short.
Yeah, it's 90 feet of wire.
Or-
Oh, well, that's more than 40. Yeah, you only need 66 feet of wire for 40. But
Yeah, so we got a 30-foot counterpoise.
You'll probably need less than
Gotcha.
that with our wire.
20
'cause
foot.
it's-
you generally cut off like a couple feet or something. So
That's some fast wire.
But
Nice
that's the big step
fast.
one in the instructions is to cut the counterpoise off first.
yeah, I missed that. So, is it all the same wire?
It's all the same wire, yeah.
Okay.
It is.
All right.
A lot of people
All
in the chat want
I wasn't-
stickers.
I wasn't going to. I wasn't going to do the wire tuning,
No, you can do
cutting
that.
anything. That
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that tonight.
Just
gonna put together things.
know that these are all hand packaged with love, and you
By
may
Chuck.
wind up with like 87.5 feet or 93 3/4 feet. So cut
Just
the
depends on if he had his glasses on when he was
Yeah,
winding it.
And
or
two
how
and
much I had to
two
drink.
and two KK6 US wire stickers.
so cut the element to length first because we can always
Yeah.
send you some more counterpoise, or you could just not use it.
Yeah,
Right,
I can
'cause
actually.
poise is optional.
Yeah, I don't have my counterpoise hooked up to any of my infant half waves, but but that's okay. I mean, it's still good to still
Should
good
have grabbed
to.
mine. I actually got mine. Well, I don't tell you the truth. I don't even have our winder. I've got all the.
Sold them all, huh? EFHW. I hope that that's a dig, because I would really think that Chuck was the brains of the operation, but that's me. So, yeah, it's that it is that time of the month, isn't it? So, yeah, okay. Oh, you gotta pay attention to that. Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. So Frank, you're in charge of questions. If you guys have questions, oh, my bad. Okay, hold on. No, I did not mute you. Hold on. I changed scenes, and you guys aren't added to this scene. Hold on a second. Audio output. Boom.
Saying no Zoom
The chat's 30 seconds behind. Yeah, that's my bad. Sorry, guys.
Okay.
Is this your first time
We
streaming,
changed.
Jason?
Yes, it is. Yes, my first time. We changed to this camera right here, which didn't have the desktop audio added, or the
So
Zoom
where
audio
did
added,
it cut out? Do you just want to start over, Tio?
Yeah, we were talking about retro computers and having a bunch of fun with that, and then we were talking about where the NFED half wave came from, and how brilliant Chuck is, and how good looking Jim is, and did I get all my brown nosing in yet? Am I good?
Almost.
Hey, you need to send some love to the co-host here.
Co-host.
No, you don't. Co-host has been
All the
MIA
inspiration.
for like a month and a half. So
Not a month and a half. It was one
Close enough.
stream and several.
it was more than one
happy
stream.
hours.
It was more than one stream. Yeah.
I've been like super busy. I'm building that yurt, and it's like.
Are you building a yurt? Are you really?
Yeah.
Second.
Oh,
I'm
you got to
building
send me
a
a
second
picture.
one.
Yurt.
Oh, you got to
Second
send me a
yurt.
picture. Are you gonna do a video?
I did a video. It's 15 minutes. Build the small yurt in 15 minutes.
And nobody watched it because it's a ham
Nobody
radio
watched
channel.
it.
So
Yeah.
Jason,
No.
you're putting that ground lug on the inside. That's where it goes. Just make sure that it points to the left side for the counterpoise.
That's what I'm.
Just below the
You're
camera.
off. You're just off screen.
So I'm sorry. So I'm putting it. So this is what it looks like on the screen. I don't want to take up any more screen real estate with the website here, but Tio posted the website of the build instructions on GitHub in the link earlier, in the chat earlier. In fact, if you want to post that again, Frank, see if you can pin it to the top so people know where to.
I can do that
Yeah.
happily.
Yeah.
There it is, Frank.
So.
Frank has the power.
Actually,
So
I
you
don't
can-
have the power.
you can't-
Only
I can't-
channel owners.
I thought
do
that
that.
I thought that they had changed that. Oh, okay.
You might need to promote me in your channel.
I don't
Just
think
be
that
a
I'm going
mod-
to do that.
More than a mod.
I don't think I'm.
Frank, it's
gonna do
almost
that.
time for your year-end review.
Yeah.
How do you rate
Yes.
yourself on a scale of
Yeah,
1 to
that's
5?
right.
Frank, I
you're-
see that there could be problems on that review coming up. I mean,
If you
don't-
ask me, I'm always amazing and awesome, and they stopped putting those questions in my actual employee review because
I mean,
they're always
Frank,
the
you
same
know, you're using the
answers.
minimum flare, son. So, you know, I mean,
minimum.
it's-
Yeah.
So
it's
so
okay.
the picture on the website shows this stud and nut on top of it. Do I need to install that now too? Because it doesn't really say you should install a piece of coax adapter. Blah, blah. It's just talking about this coax adapter, but it's not talking about this yet.
Yeah, you don't.
But it
have to
shows
do
it in the
that yet.
picture.
You're good where it's at.
Okay. All right. I'll just wait on that.
You'll need it when you actually hook up the ground side of the toroid.
The beauty
Okay.
of that winder is, and I moved mine, I believe. I should have brought it in from the shop. You can put some of that stuff just anywhere you want, where it's convenient. I
Yeah.
moved mine all the way
Yeah.
down to the corner.
It definitely has a lot of space to mount stuff on it. So
Right.
yeah. Okay.
Well, we
And our-
save,
and our-
we save money. All those extra holes cost less money. So
Yes.
that was,
Right. Yeah. You're using less material
material,
on your 3D printer, obviously.
Do you
so.
3D print each
Yeah, hang on,
every one
Jason.
of those?
You're missing a step.
No, we don't, Frank.
14 turns. Where am
Those are
We don't.
professionally sourced.
Yeah, you need to do the double wind for the counter, not the counterpoise, for the primary. So fold that over 8 inches or so, I think it is.
8 inches. That's roughly about 8 inches there. Okay. Probably the most fun of the kit is the winding of the big toroid. When you're done, you should.
Toroid is.
Toroid. For the twist on the Toroid, I like to say, didn't Vern 6 on What's Up with Vern show a cool new toy that twisted wire for you? It's a
Yes, I saw that.
was
That
a
was cool.
so cool.
That
toy.
was cool. Yeah.
I just use a
Abe used
drill.
a happy pencil.
I used a drill. I like power.
The
I'm-
pencil
I use a
method is
drill,
actually
too.
pretty good because
I'm gonna use
my
it.
first go round. I used my fingers, and that was horrible.
painful.
So what? How many twists do I need here?
Have some is the key.
Yeah,
Have
it
some,
doesn't.
okay.
It doesn't matter, Jason. I'd say 8 to 10 probably.
I actually want to build one of these things without twisting the primary, just to see how well
if it makes
does.
any difference, I
I'm
wondered that.
I'm told KM4ACK says it doesn't, and
Right.
actually maybe it was Adam who said that. Anyway, somebody who has done this before more than I have said that it doesn't really matter, but I don't know. I just follow the instructions.
Jesse
or
in the chat
try my
says,
best.
I needed one of these on the cruise. If you don't know what
Yes,
that
you
comment
did.
is, go watch the stream
Yes,
that
you
just
did.
finished over on
You
my
did
channel.
need one of
Frank,
those
you went on a cruise. You didn't ask the captain, or you did ask the captain for operating permission?
I was, and then someone forgot, not forgot, I lost
Oh.
the antenna for my radio.
Don't you have a,
Someone,
don't you have a tuner?
someone,
You lost it?
I lost.
No, he lost his HT antenna.
Oh,
So
Lord,
that don't count.
I don't.
like playing cards with my brother's
no.
kids.
Welcome to Coffee and Ham Radio.
You haven't met? Have you met Frank before?
Yeah.
It is. There's a sword about it too. So check that out. It was.
Man,
was fun
I'd be
filming
trying
that.
to tune up a deck chair or something. That'd be hilarious.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Use
yeah
the
somebody,
railing.
Antenna on a cruise ship.
somebody mentioned the railing. So
Yeah, use the safety
next
railing.
next
Okay.
time I will ask and try. I decided not to bring the HF radio. It's one bag. I could have worn it and got it through everywhere. But I knew when we were docking in Cozumel, Mexico does not reciprocate ham radio licenses, and not being a extra also makes it difficult to operate in other countries. So I decided this is my first vacation, and the only thing I was going to play with is the HT. So next time,
And you didn't
Good
do
job,
that
Frank.
because someone forgot
two
the
wraps to
antenna.
them.
no, lost.
Counterclock.
I had the antenna when I left.
Oh, it
the
is
car.
you. Oh, see, you kept
It is,
saying
yeah.
someone. I wondered who
Yeah,
And
someone
then
was.
someone, before he
was-
got on
yeah.
the boat, it disappeared. I knew I had
Yeah.
it in the car.
It was someone, and Frank's
and
trying
the
not to blame himself.
someone,
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
someone.
It
Someone.
went missing.
Son, you need a
Someone.
lawyer. This is almost
right.
a ham court offense here.
That's
mean,
right.
Oh,
yeah.
There was already calls for it.
There's already a ham court comment in his stream. Of it. Yeah.
I missed that, but yeah,
So-
ham court.
Okay. Let's
Jason,
see if I'm.
you need to bring anybody to Ham Court, by the way, you just let me know, and we can have Mr. Perry Esquire provide defense.
Perry Esquire.
Yeah, just ask N8YO how good
Uh,
my representation was.
Oh goodness.
Hey, I was the judge, so
Where did that go?
you can't take the judge to court.
Of course,
Who?
Oh, you can. You
well,
just,
what you
yeah,
can.
Yeah.
Different court.
Yeah. Okay, so it says to insert the twisted wire and end all the way to the end of the twist. Make 2 wraps to the right counterclockwise. Turns can be a tad loose, but tighter is better.
Yep.
So I've got 1 twist through it here, and I need to put it through again. And this should stick out
Yes.
after it's done.
Yeah, because that's going to run all the
So
way down to your counterpoise lug.
Right, yeah. So it's coming back
Great
to me.
question from Del Fergus. What's the maximum wattage that the antenna can handle?
So this is 100 watts sideband or 50 watts digital.
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
Chuck,
it's-
didn't you test that to smokage?
You know what?
Smokage.
I ran it at
Smokage.
200 watts
Yeah, I thought
for
you
about
did.
half an hour, and it handled that on sideband.
Really?
And,
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah, but I didn't do it for a long, long time. I did it
Oh,
down
that's-
in Arizona. Actually,
Did
for
you
quite
do
a
it?
while.
Did you run a pileup with it?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was
Then
at Quartz Fest. He was calling CQ.
I was a course
Oh,
fest.
yeah,
That was
okay,
it was like a little
okay.
dedication to
Okay.
our buddy Don.
Yeah.
Right after his wife had passed.
Ah.
I did a
okay.
little POTA. Well, I think it was a POTA. But it went really well. It'll do 100 watts, no problem.
Yeah, for those of you in the chat, watching the stream that aren't familiar with how these things work, you're transforming the impedance from the end-fed half-wave wire, which is 2,450 ohms.
Right.
Divide that by 49, and you get 50 ohms, which is what your radio wants to see. That
Yes.
transformation generates heat. that heat saturates the toroid, and that's what makes it stop working. And what'll happen is, as you're operating your radio, you'll notice that your SWR starts to creep up if you overheated it. So Chuck's running on voice in the desert at 200 watts, and it's fine because there's enough pauses and peaks and so forth in the power that it's okay. Whereas like a mode like FT8 is straight on 100 watts for 15 minutes, and you can just watch after your first QSO, you're starting to creep up, 2-to-1 instead of 1-to-1 SWR, and then it's just gone after that. You just let it cool down. It's fine.
15 seconds.
Yes, 15 seconds. Sorry.
You said 15 minutes.
Good
that'd be
Lord.
that'd be a hell of a QSO. 15-minute FT8
on digital, yeah.
yeah. Just put a brick on the PTT and just go have a coffee.
Hammer down.
So I had a crazy thought about that because the heat is the saturation. The heat causes saturation.
Yep.
So if we could do something about heat, what if you actively cooled the toroid? I mean, that's a
Actively
crazy
cooling
thought.
it works, or having a bigger toroid. The
Right.
first number, so this toroid you're looking at is a 140-43. The first number is the size, and I want to say it's in inches, and the second number is the chemical makeup, the mix of the iron powder.
Right.
And
1,
so if you
2,
make this
3,
a
4, 5.
240,
Mine's done.
yeah.
1, 2,
but I'm not doing the
3,
same thing.
4, 5. Okay, yeah, so that's right.
If
So
you make
what are
this
we?
240 toroid, which is twice as wide,
Mine's backwards from what the picture shows, but I don't think it matters.
yeah, it doesn't matter.
Turn it over.
You
Yeah,
can turn it over.
Yeah.
if you
So-
make it a 240, which is twice as wide, it'll have
Jason-
twice as much heat dissipation. Or you can stack cores, so you can do 2 240s, 3 240s, 4 240s. It's the mix that is the science here, not
Correct.
the first number.
Poda by examples calling for a
So-
water-cooled toroid.
What do you
Yeah.
say,
I'm telling
Chuck?
you.
You try what I find too. If you can instead of taking the end of the wire and sticking it through, pull it through from the tight, go nice and tight around the toroid, and then try to
Yep.
push it through. And I find that sometimes if especially the bigger toroids, you can get a little bit tighter wind that way.
So
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm trying to
without
do. but-
going to too much physics, what is the
Mhm.
toroid actually doing for the antenna here?
So this is what I was talking about. It's transforming the impedance from 2450, which is what you see at the end of the wire, the end-fed half-wave wire, down to 50. And that's why it's a 49-to-1 transformers, because that's the math. So 2450 divided by 49 is 50.
Okay.
And then you can get a little farther in the math. This is where I get sketchy, and I wish Ape was here for this, but maybe
Yeah,
somebody
he's the
else can
expert.
cover it. The number of primaries, the 3 turns primary times the 12 turns secondary is the 49. That's where the math comes from. That makes it 49.
Yeah, that's how you multiply it
Interesting.
somehow.
And
Jim can probably-
it's
Jim can
close. I
probably
don't know
math
what
it
the
in line.
exact math is.
Yeah. 7,
I can't remember either.
10, 11, 12.
It made sense when I figured it out one time, and then I've never looked it up again. And you're close, but I don't.
What Google says.
Yeah.
Jim's not quite into antennas like some of us.
No, Jim is not.
Somebody made a comment a minute ago saying, "Is Texas freezing over again?" Jason's building an antenna.
You're
And I take-
never going to live that down, dude.
I take
That was
issue-
Side boom, I think.
Was it side boom?
It
I
was
take
side
issue.
boom.
I take issue with that because he's suggesting that Texas is hell, and I take issue with that. So the part about me I don't care about. All right, so
I think it was
Let's
like,
see.
well, that's true. I get you.
I see a couple YouTube videos in the future with water cooling or vegetable oil cooling toroids.
well, somebody said put it in the refrigerator. Like I have a refrigerator in my truck, a 12-volt fridge I keep in my truck. I just
Yeah.
throw it in the fridge, keep
So-
that thing at like 32 degrees, throw the
A
antenna
lot
in the
of different
fridge.
cooling liquids would be discussed.
Patrick mentioned vegetable oil, and I thought, well, that's not a bad idea. Or a computer cooling system, water cooled
Heard of
system.
guys wanting
Yeah.
to use wax, but I'm like, once it heats up, it's just going to leak out.
It's going to leak out.
What I'll do sometimes, because I set mine up to where it's only like a few inches off the ground, right? And I'll
Yes,
throw
so do I.
something over to shade it.
Yep,
Yeah.
If it's
good
in the
idea.
sun, because if it's in the sun, that doesn't help any.
it's a good idea.
And we purposely looked into putting a box around it. The problem with that is now you're holding that heat in longer.
Mhm.
And
Sean
so
put
we
a box around his, and I thought his looked really good. But
It does
Yeah,
look good, but it keeps
if-
the heat in.
yes, yeah, I agree with that. Okay, so we've got 14 turns total per the instructions, which includes
Matt, welcome
these
back.
first 2 turns. because 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So that should be correct right there, according to the picture. Again, yeah, you said go counterclockwise, and I was going counterclockwise this way, not this way, but I don't guess it matters
I
really.
think you can just turn it over usually.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's yeah, I guess I could.
The turns is the magic. So
Right. Yeah. It did. Yeah. Yeah. I put my KM4ACK antenna together backwards with him on the show.
too.
I mean, he watched me to do it. Oh, did you really?
I did.
And he's like, I don't think it matters. And I was like, no, it shouldn't matter. So, but yeah.
And here we are doing the
Are
same
you
thing.
left-handed?
I am not left-handed.
I was wondering
I
if
am-
that was a difference.
I am left-brained. So
See, do I have?
Oh, even worse.
okay, I know. No doubt. Okay, so now you're zip tie. Now you're doing the zip ties. Attach your toroid to the Apollo winder with 2 zip ties.
And it says Toroid in those instructions.
It does. It absolutely says toroid.
The instructions are written just like our show is spoken.
Yeah, yeah. So, okay, let me see. Where does this extra dude go?
Ham radio crash course is in the chat. Not that it
Just to the
is a
center
major
compartment.
issue. Those wraps are a little wide looking.
Well, they're actually really close together right here.
Yeah, you can
Different-
space them out afterwards.
Yeah. Right.
Once
Yeah.
you get it
yeah.
wound.
And Colin,
Okay.
MM0 OPX, our
Yeah.
Scottish
Yeah.
friend, he
Uh-huh.
did a experiment where he was like, what if I put all the wraps together? What if I
Yeah.
don't do the crossover? What if I spread the wraps out as far as
Yeah.
possible? And I think he found that if he puts all the wraps on one side of the toroid, it's actually best.
Mm.
Yeah, they say that.
I remember. I saw his video.
line
And I
up
think
right.
he found some strange things that were like, wow.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Okay, so
He's a smart dude.
this
Yeah, he is.
extra at the end of so when you twisted this going all the way down at the end of it, the extra wire here, what happens with this guy?
That goes to the center conductor on your BNC connector.
That's what's going in there. Okay.
Might
So
be a little
Yeah,
short.
that I can do. That I can do.
Simon
Okay.
asks, can he go up
Okay.
to full legal limit with this antenna?
No.
Well, you can.
You can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
For a minute.
for a
Yeah.
second or so.
Yeah. Yeah. There the wraps around it are not as close to the toroid as what I would have
Josh
liked.
clarifies he meant the
But,
slack around the toroid, not the spacing.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about as well.
It's all right.
And,
So-
and have y'all ever seen Ape's video on this thing? His wraps are immaculate. And
Better
I'm
be-
like, how much time did you spend doing that?
Adam bought one of those was it QDX QRP or FT8 QRP rigs from QRP Labs at 4 Days in May last last Hamvention.
Yeah.
And he put a picture in the chat after he had put the Toroids together, and I'm like, that was done by a machine. Okay, don't tell me you wrapped that by yourself, which he did. But I was like, it looks like it was wrapped by a machine. It was stupid. You can tell he's done that a time or two. So, okay, so
Now, let me throw this out, although it may be a little late.
uh-huh.
It's a whole lot easier to sand the ends of that wire before you get it much farther.
Well, that is a little bit late.
Did you do the
you know what?
KMRD
I
Dremel trick?
Yeah, I don't.
That was
think I have
actually a very
like these.
insightful thing. I didn't
Yeah.
think about that.
Mhm.
I ended up using a pocket knife to scrape, and it was
These little
pain in the
files are
butt.
really nice.
Sandpaper. I have sandpaper.
I don't
Yeah,
have
that would work
sandpaper
too.
with me right now.
Jeff
go to
is
your
throwing the
pocket
math in the
yeah,
chat.
go to-
pocket knife. That's
Go
true.
to your Ace Hardware or someplace like that and look
Yeah.
at the little bargain center and buy these little
Yeah.
files. They
Jeff,
work
I've been looking for
perfect
that
this
math.
stuff.
What do we
Jeff,
got?
there it is. That's right.
Jeff, 14 divided by 2 to raise to the power of 2 is equal to 49.
Yeah, and that's why I couldn't quote it off the top of my head. That's
Oh.
yeah.
It was
That's
mathy.
great.
It's mathy.
Adam is a wizard. I totally agree.
Yeah, he is. He's called the wizard.
So there's 14 total
sandwich wizard.
turns, and then the turns that are
Uh-huh.
twisted that we did in the very beginning are 2. So 14 divided by 2,
Mm-hmm.
which is 7. Then
7
squared,
squared
which
is 49.
Mm-hmm.
Put it by
there you
example
go.
says you can burn
7
it
squares,
off with
49.
a soldering iron.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
why,
that's an idea.
If you
why
want
are
to
we
smell.
using magnet wire in this toroid and not just regular wire?
So magnet wire is what we call it because we're making a magnet. We're making an electromagnet. So it's just
Okay.
called magnet wire. It's
And
actually
it's
just plain old wire with a
lacquer
almost
finish.
transparent jacket on it.
So
could
does
use
it
regular wire
react
if you wanted
if
to.
you wrap it tightly so it doesn't touch, it forces it through?
It's insulated. So I mean, if you wanted to do this with speaker wire, it would still work.
Oh yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
harder to wrap.
Okay,
Hmm.
interesting. I just was
You
wondering.
kind of want a you want a solid wire so it'll stay, because like wires with multiple strands they won't stay bent as well.
Henry
and then
the
the
Crash
ins-
Course says a Bic lighter and steel wool, Jason, works pretty good
There
too.
you go.
Yeah, I don't have any of that right. I mean, I've got all that kind of good stuff in the garage over there, but I don't have it right here with me. So
Bob's
Steal
got a
your
question.
wife's.
I could
Is
put
it
go
you
for it.
Is it
Put you on.
beneficial to form the loops tight to the toroid or just snug? So Bob, here's the deal. And I say this a lot. You can enjoy making toroids, or you can enjoy getting on the air, or you can enjoy both. Take your pick. Enjoy it. Have
Uh-huh.
fun.
It'll work either way, bro. That's
If you
it.
wanted to get really, really specific about it, you could make them extremely tight and extremely pretty, and mount it on your wall and show it off to all your friends. And
Mhm.
a thing of beauty is a joy forever. And I'm not
That's-
mocking you at all. I'm saying, like, seriously, if that's
That's
your
not what
bag,
you
do
do?
it. If you want to do it,
It's my bag.
get it on the air. Get it on the air. It really doesn't matter that much. I mean,
That's
you're
my
gonna
bag,
you're gonna
baby.
be talking, 47 to 55 ohms of impedance at your radio. Your radio's fine with that.
I think that I will run to my garage and get a couple of tools, including a wire snippers here.
Should we talk amongst ourselves?
So you guys can have it for a minute. So
Promote me
let
to
me-
host. Promote me
you
to
know-
host.
Promote
I'm
it.
not,
Promote
I'm
it.
not promoting you to host.
Good. That's a
There's
good
no
choice,
reason to promote
Jason.
you to host.
So just
Just
for the
sit
viewers
there,
out
Frank,
there,
No
be
this
reason
is
charming.
to do that.
just for the viewers. This is an Apollo that he's building, and we have the Mercury, which is a link dipole, and this is basically it right here. This is on a different winder. It's the same shape. It's just one that's been printed in a different material, and so it has a 1-to-1 on it.
Probably one of our
Versus
prototypes, Chuck. We
This
call them
one
a
has-
Lucy.
this
Don
one's
has a
actually on
question.
ASA, which we chose not to use because the print quality was not as good as what we're using. So we could have saved like half the price, but it wasn't worth it for us because of the quality of the actual.
And
And
TO,
this one's been smoothed over, so it didn't
the
look
link-
as good when we started.
the link that you posted also has the link to go buy the antenna, or is this the instructions?
No. The link to buy the antenna is coffeeandhamradios.com.
Yep.
And Jim, there, you said Don had a question.
Don was asking, and I'm sure Don knows the answer to this.
Oh, he probably
He's
does.
prompting.
Yeah. Is that what
supporting.
we're calling it? I would have called it trolling, but it's Don. Let
Well,
me
was he
Don.
asking you specifically? Then it's
No,
trolling.
he wasn't, but it's still trolling because it's Don. But we are still left with, what does the toroid do? And notice the correct pronunciation of the word, toroid.
Sorry, guys.
What does the toroid do, and why does the heat build up in the toroid and not the wire?
Well, he's got to go somewhere. The toroid's just
It's
Why,
Yeah,
why,
place,
why,
but-
is the, why is it in the toroid and not the wire?
it is in the wire. It's in both. But the
It's in
toroid,
both.
when the wire heats up, nobody cares. When the toroid heats up, it changes its properties, its characteristics, and so it doesn't perform the transformation as well as it
As
used
well,
to.
right.
And you'll see your SWR creep up on your radio.
Impedance is a complex calculation, but what you're doing, regardless of the calculation for impedance, you're taking, like T.O. said, 2,450 ohms of impedance, and you're mashing it down to 50. So you're doing the transformation. That's essentially a single coil transformer.
Oh,
basically.
so Don was re-asking one of my questions. It was my question.
Thank you, Don.
Okay.
And
See,
Abe
that's
could
what I always
probably
said
give
about
you
Frank.
a 20-minute explanation of that way better than I can, but
Mm-hmm.
it's a heat. It's because of what's happening. It produces a magnetic current. The magnetic current causes heat.
Okay,
in
grown-ups
that
are
sense.
talking. Don, what was
See-
Frank's question?
Jason, before you go any further, you had a
Yes.
super chat from TC Fitz.
I saw that come in. Thank you, TC Fitz. Appreciate that.
I got to see TC
He
Fitz again for the
said,
second time.
TC.
I'll
Yeah.
just
Pacifica.
he had something he had to go fix something. He's gonna catch up later in Team
Okay.
Replay.
Yeah, I saw that.
Team Replay is
He's my,
amazing.
He's my sadist when I start drinking the pickle beer. He's the one who always is making me drink pickle beer with $2 super chats.
Pickle,
So
pickle,
but that's-
pickle juice is good to drink.
pickle juice is, pickle beer is
beer, I
not.
don't know.
No, it is not.
I'd take a hard pass on that.
Yeah, that's why I punish myself for super chats. It's just kind of what I do. So
Joe's asking, what's the purpose of making one? Can't you just buy one that's already done? The answer is yes, you can buy one that's already done, not from us. CAHRtenna sells one that's already done. I think Chameleon sells one that's already done. There's a couple of them out there.
there's a bunch of them out there.
Yeah.
The benefit of the kit is you gain one more bit of understanding about ham radio than you had before you made the kit. When I built my first antenna, it was just a dipole. That's when it's sunk into me that the length of the antenna elements are longer for lower bands and shorter for higher bands. So if you're tuning for SWR, you need to figure out where it is resonant and where you want it to be resonant, and then you can decide whether you need more wire or less wire. And that's one of the concepts that gelled in my head when I built my first antenna.
And once you build your own antenna, even if you have a different antenna and it breaks, you kind of have an idea how to fix it, most likely. And that's what we're striving for, really, is to get people to learn stuff. You don't have to make everything, but it's good to make a few things. You know,
I'm just going to read Josh's answer to that question. Ham Radio Crash Course says you can, but kids are often cheaper, and you know what? That's hitting us right
that is
in
true
the
also.
wallet,
Yes.
which is very important to us amateur radio operators,
especially if you're talking about like Chameleon. Their stuff's kind of pricey.
Yeah.
Now, all of their stuff's made in the USA. And I enjoy paying more for stuff that's made in the USA. I shouldn't say I enjoy.
You enjoy
I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with paying more for stuff that's made in the USA. But at the same time, CAHRtennas are made in the USA.
Chuck, we should have charged Jason twice as much.
Should have.
Yeah. Ours is printed. The only thing, I mean, that's in any of those guys' antennas or the workmanship and the maybe their winders, because everything else pretty much comes from China or someplace.
I'm not going to read that what Dawn said about Ape.
It's funny. It could very well be true, but I think that's PR.
Yeah.
Well,
there's a lot of PR.
What do you say? Ape is a church singing choir. He's always one of his singers.
So, Jason, when you snug down those tie wraps, make sure that they're not sticking up, because they'll snag on the battery heat shrink that we gave you, the big heat shrink.
Yeah, I've got it right here.
So what do you mean by up? It's like in the backside, or do you want to put them inside the Toroid?
So the knob part of the zip tie, make sure that's down inside the donut.
Right. Yeah, so that's what I'm seeing that on the picture, so that's what I was going to do. But yeah, good advice. Thank you.
Ed would love to see a video of Ape singing. I think we will all love that, and it'll be just up there.
You would until you saw it.
If he sings like he dances, that's something no one needs to see ever.
He dances like no one's looking.
Right.
Also, tell you the truth, Jason, you don't even need the zip ties, but they're just extra, because once you
you
can already tell it's pretty solid. Huh?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Chuck.
Oh, that's right. Me and Ape went at it one day on
about whether you need zip ties or not.
We used to give 6 zip ties with the kit. Now Chuck and Ape had their little spat, and it's all been polished over. But apparently Chuck's still bitter.
Tio and I were totally traumatized by that too.
Yes, D.
I can imagine that you were. Yeah.
CAHRtenna is a great half wave. Good job, Jason. I had to wind my toroid so many times to get it right. I bought more magnet wire, and that's Michael with the $5 super chat. Thank you, Michael.
Yeah, thanks, Mike.
Me too, Michael.
I mean, you know what? If I was a perfectionist, I would have rewound this thing, but I genuinely do not.
We're doing
care.
it live.
So yeah. And as several people said, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, is it optimal? Yes, it's optimal. Is it going to keep you from making POTA contacts? No.
I mean, it's like, are you going to move the SWR needle 0.1 one direction or the other? Maybe 0.2. I can't imagine it's. Yeah.
It makes more difference where you tune it and where you set it up every time the same way.
The wire length and the setup and.
Yeah, so if you
tighten lack of counterpoise.
If you tighten those wraps up, you may need less wire, like an inch less wire. If you loosen them up, you might need 2 inches more wire, because you're changing the amount of inductance. And this is a thing that you get. And I'm not flexing here, but this is a thing that you get to know about on the extra exam. You're changing the inductance of the antenna, and so you're going to be, again, 51 ohms. But like Chuck said, if you make it 2 feet higher off the ground than you did at the last activation, it's going to be a totally different antenna anyway.
Not a huge amount, but it makes actually the link dipoles make more difference. We stress in there, build it the way you're going to set it up, and then we show you how we want you to set it up. Kind of just you want it to be at least 90 degrees on your inverted V's, and usually preferably more. I find works
Don
better.
says his Toroid wrap is very sloppy, and yet it works great. So
Yeah.
Right.
you do
Mine
not
too,
need to
Don.
be
Mine would not pass a beauty
perfectionist.
contest. It looks
No.
Well, the
horrible.
nylon gives you an extra couple dBs.
Your solder will take care of that,
winder.
Jason.
Okay, I just want to make sure it gets in there all the way.
Is that Electra Girl? We
That is
hear?
my
that's
dog.
not. That's
fired.
That's
That's
my
not.
dog.
That's
Oh,
not
that's
my dog.
Chuck. I just.
I have company, and she
pitch was
gets
just
super
off.
excited. Yeah, there she goes. Oh,
Okay.
Don
Now-
is now Don is trolling because he's mentioned the carbon fiber mast, and you know how the primate feels about that.
Oh
The
no!
primate.
never
What-
hook a vertical up to your carbon fiber mast unless you want to do a lot of different.
I find that ham sticks go well on top of a carbon fiber mast.
They go well. They go even better next to one,
That's right.
mounted on a better mast. No, I'm kidding, Don.
Did you foobar something by putting a vertical on a carbon fiber mast?
No, they just the carbon fiber interacts ever so slightly with the element on the
It's
antenna.
quite a bit on your length because I was playing with it one day and I
Center
just
yourself
grabbed
a little more, Jason.
I
You know
just
what? I'm
grabbed an
going
antenna
to
or mast
my
and it happened to
glasses
be
on.
carbon.
Your splaining glasses?
my
There you
splaining
go.
glasses.
Oh no, those are safety glasses. You wouldn't want to get a piece of solder,
That's true.
spotted into your eyeball.
That is
Brian
true.
asks, "Where's the coffee?" I
Oh,
got
man,
some
I was making some too, darn. it.
brandy.
I forgot.
Jim has some.
Jim
I actually
has
have
some.
mine all queued up, ready to go. and I
Finished
forgot
up
to
the
do it.
Jason,
soda
go ahead and hold that
mostly.
wire with your bare hands. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I will.
This is not a tank
Before
radio
this-
soldering stream
Before this
where you
this
hear
day is out, I
"ow"
probably will.
40 times.
If it doesn't smell like bacon, you're doing it wrong.
That's
Right.
correct.
And just so people know, we I don't know if we explained it earlier in the thing, but you try to get your little cup on your BNC there
BNC.
up so you can
Yes.
Right.
so it's easier. But if it doesn't, if it
Mine's
isn't
kinda
up, you
s-
could just take some pliers and you can turn it and it'll go up.
Well, see, and mine's not wrenched down all the way.
if
either,
yours
so I
was on
could-
the
I
other
could
side,
turn it.
it'd be better because it
Can
would.
you lock your
Take your
zoom,
wire.
your focus?
Yeah, take your wire, push it past, so it'll take the memory out of it.
Well, I
Jason.
was. You mean? What do you mean? This wire that way?
Take that wire and push it past the other because it wants to stay to the left. The way I'm looking at it, push it just
There
a
you
little
go.
bit. There you go. And
Well, that's what I did a minute ago. Maybe I didn't do it
Getting
far
there.
enough.
because it'll want to lay in one spot, and then it should go
Yeah.
inside too.
Yeah, yeah.
Should be able to poke it down inside there.
Jim, it's like
Right,
playing cards
anyways.
with my brother's kids.
Well, I'm just sitting here enjoying watching Jason have 4 people tell him what to do instead of y'all yelling at me. So
Hey Jim, did you get your mic working on your 7610 yet?
it works fine. Ape gave me crap
Joe
about
Brett
that
would say
today.
otherwise.
What is Joe Brett throwing up mess in the
Is he-
chat? He ain't even
what's he
talking in
doing?
the chat.
Bob,
He's right
just as long
there.
as they don't touch.
I couldn't pronounce those words, so thank you.
Y'all,
He's asking about stalactites and stalagmites and stalactites and how long should they be? And just
I
so
don't
they
have the
touch.
radio wired into the mixer, so it wouldn't have worked very well on stream. I need to get that fixed.
Excuses.
I can
Nature
plug in the hand
child.
mic and talk to him that way, but that'd be about it.
Only
Yeah,
a sad ham blames the mixer.
I'm not blaming the mixer. I haven't hooked it up. There's no one to
Sad
blame
ham.
but myself. I
Look,
just
look how
haven't hooked it up.
defensive he gets. Jim, are you sensitive today?
Sad ham. That's funny.
Yes, I am. I am very sensitive. I'm
Okay.
a sensitive soul.
All right. Solder the double transformer lead to the ground lug of the BNC. So that's this.
And if you like watching 4 grown men argue like 12-year-olds, you'll love
Right.
coffee and ham radios.
That's
That's right.
right.
Yeah. Is
See,
that,
now you got Joe Brett stirred up. He's in the chat.
the double transformer lead
yeah,
to
the twist,
ground
the
lo-
twisted part.
Oh, the twisted part. Do I need to cut that?
You know, are you going to do a counterpoise?
Counterpoise.
Probably not.
What I usually do is I'll strip one long enough for the counterpoise, and I'll cut it out. I'll take the insulation off the lacquer,
Mhm.
and I'll solder the two together back farther, and then stick one in, and then the one right into the ground lug.
But do you cut this part here?
You can cut that.
Okay, because that's what it looks like on
I
your
usually
diagram
just
here.
I usually just solder them together back farther, and then run one down to the ground lug if you're going to use a counterpoise, and you're probably not going to.
Yeah.
And then the other one just goes through. One of them will go through the hole on the ground lug, but not both of
So
them.
like so I can cut them back this far?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at all the crap you stirred up in that chat, Steve.
I know,
Yep.
man. It's
What are they arguing? I'm not reading the chat.
Oh, I'm getting now CAHRtenna is in here too, and I'm getting no end of grief. How easy it is to hook up radio mic up to the mixer.
Oh.
I just haven't done it.
Oh,
I
on
want
your
to.
on your 7610.
Yeah,
You're so defensive about it. That's how we know that you know that you're wrong.
I'm not
Just-
wrong. I
just-
just didn't do it.
Because if you were
Don't
right
let-
about it, then you just would be like, "Yep, you're right."
Don't let Mike tease you about a 7610. He doesn't actually have one. He has T-rays.
Oh yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah. I forgot
Which
about
T-Ray
that.
probably forgot. I
he
think at
still
this point,
has
I
it?
don't know.
He's still, yeah.
feel
T-Ray
like-
doesn't care. I don't think T-Ray cares actually.
I think that was before we went to the Grand Canyon.
Yeah,
He's
that
had
was
it a
before
while.
Huntsville.
He's had it
Been
a
a
while.
while.
Yeah.
Chuck, you know why T-Ray gave his 7610 to Mike, right?
He's buying a 101.
Because he's got a 101.
Oh, he's got a
Yeah, he
101.
does. He does have a one.
Oh, he's
Yeah,
got
you
everything.
can-
That's right. He a lot of
that
stuff.
little-
Huh?
I seen this question a couple of times in the chat. I'm pulling us back a little bit. Why don't you want to use a carbon fiber mask with a vertical antenna?
Okay, it interacts. A vertical antenna, since it runs up the pole, most likely, right? It interacts with the metal in the pole because there's actually carbon in it. And it, I found that when I did, I mistakenly grabbed one that was carbon fiber one time, and it's like, man, my measurements are totally off. And it messed with my head for like a couple hours, like an hour, right? And I'm like, and finally I'm like, well, shoot, dummy, I changed it to a different non-carbon fiber pole, and my links were right. You can do it, but it won't be anywhere. Mine wasn't
It'll affect your
mine wasn't
measurements.
anywhere near what the measurement should have been. It was way short.
Interesting. So once
I don't-
you
I don't know if it
once you
affects-
taked it and made it a sloper, did that help out tremendously? Or
If you're doing a sloper or inverted V off it, that's fine.
It won't really matter.
It won't matter.
But when it's
much
right
then.
next to it, the magnetic fields are interacting.
Yeah.
The magnetic
Now,
fields
Chuck, can
interacting
you-
with the pole.
Can you properly tune your vertical wire to make that not an issue?
I never tried it because I couldn't figure out what was going on until I read the actual carbon fiber on the side of my thing. I'm like, oh my gosh, that was dumb. And I have multiple. I was just trying to do a little short vertical. It was like 20. I think it was for 20. It wasn't super long. 20? Yeah, I think it was 20. But you could probably tune it. I don't know how good it would work. I mean, you got less. It was less wire. I know that.
So Stephen Reynolds is saying, can't wait for the coffee and ham setup with 4 guys and a DX commander. Will be as good as a 6-meter Moxon build. Are you asking us to help Jason build his DX commander, Stephen?
Oh, it's on like Donkey Kong. We'll do it.
That's not going to happen.
Or do you want us
it's
to
not
build
gonna
one of our own? Because either
It's
one.
not going to happen. Yeah. I've got plans for my DX commander.
I heard that like months ago. I thought you actually built it.
I'm sworn to secrecy. I
Secretly,
can't
thought you
say
built it.
anything. It's
Are you
not
sworn to
built.
Because you don't
secrecy?
know anything, Frank?
He knows.
That was mistaken.
Frank has a DX commander also.
I was going to say, is Frank got one? Is he going to build yours? Either way,
Neither,
congratulations. That's
neither
awesome.
one. Neither one. Frank has one, but he's not
Ooh.
going to build mine.
Josh Ham Radio Crash Course is saying he's going to test carbon fiber versus fiberglass.
Oh,
He's going to put it to
Awesome.
rest on
That's cool.
video.
It's a good idea.
I
Okay.
should have.
I'm looking forward to
done
that video.
That's looking good, Jason.
It looks okay. All right.
So Chuck, hang on one second while you got that view up there. Chuck, this is where a couple of people have run into trouble, where you have the counterpoise connector coming off with that ring terminal and you have the ground going over to the ground. You'll
Mhm.
need to make another connection to the ring terminal lug to that ground lug. Because right now they're not connected.
Right.
They
Well,
look
he,
like
yeah,
it,
he,
but
he
they're
said
not
he
connected.
wasn't. He said he wasn't going to put one on.
I did
And I
that.
usually, and what I do when I do that, I did put mine on, and I left the ground terminal one long, and the other one short, like Jason did, and then I scraped off and soldered the 2 wires together. And I mean, since it's a circle, I'm sure it should be like that. I don't know. I can't say for sure. Ape would probably know for sure, but I've never had a problem with it that way.
It made a huge difference on mine because I
Did it?
I did the same thing Jason did, and
Yeah, you just
didn't
probably
work right,
solder
so I-
together.
yeah, I
Just
scraped
make
them
another
and-
jumper lead go over there, Jason. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
You mean okay? So you're talking about from
If
let
you
me get
care
that
to put a
idea.
counterpoise on. If you
If
never
you're
put
gonna
a
You're
counterpoise,
talking
counterpoise,
about
you
from
need to
here to
connect it.
here.
correct.
Yes.
These okay. Okay.
We've had a couple of people make that mistake, make that
got-
adjustment, make that feature
Mhm.
change.
Yeah. If I want to do a counterpoise.
Right.
Right.
Okay. All right, that's fine. I cut that piece of there it is right there. That piece of wire right there.
Yeah, that'll be plenty.
I've got plenty
Yep.
for that. Okay.
Oh, he did
all right,
cut it.
So
He did cut it for it, didn't he? I can't see
Yep.
his picture.
yeah, you see that?
Yep.
So I'd cut it right there and right there. So,
So-
the
Go.
this resistor or whatever it is goes between these two.
Right.
Yes.
And I
And
always
then,
tuck that. I cut it off a little bit shorter,
Mhm.
and I tuck
Yeah.
that down underneath so it's not sticking up.
Yeah. That's what I'll do.
Once you get it soldered, you can do
Okay.
that.
All right. So let me put this ground lug in first.
What is that, Chuck? Says a 10 picofarad cap,
Should be 100.
100 pico. I couldn't remember
I think it's 100.
what it was.
It's the higher voltage one too.
Yeah.
The first one we didn't seem to work as well with the lower voltage. Somebody was having a problem with it. I forget.
Make sure that's
But
over there
yeah,
far enough to get.
That should go right through that hole, Jason.
I think I might have cut it just a tad short, but yeah. I just need to probably monkey wrench it
sometimes
over there.
are you trying to get it through the ground lug?
Take a deep
Sometimes when
breath.
you cut it, it flattens the end out there if your cutters weren't good and sharp.
No, they were. It went through there a second ago when I
Okay,
put the,
okay.
the lug in. It pulled out.
Try to
Just put
straighten
more
it. There
solder
you
on
go.
it, dude.
There you go. He got it.
There we go.
Looks good.
Yeah.
It's-
Okay. Now I'm not. So you guys aren't soldering this nut down, are you?
No.
No.
Right there.
No, that way you
Yes.
can take it
Why?
off and attach your counterpoise.
Correct. Okay. That's
Why
what I
would you
thought.
want to do that?
I don't think you would. I'm was confirming what I see in the picture here.
Okay. Okay.
So
By the way, what's up with Six is in the chat.
sweet.
Newest
What's up, Vern?
YouTube
A5YVY
creator.
on 20 meter FT8.
Is he advertising?
He's just chatting. Vern's a good guy.
Just chatting.
Like Vern.
Not him.
Vern's awesome.
Oh no,
Okay.
K5YVY is making a
Vern did a
FT8
nice job on
guy
his
with-
antenna.
Okay,
Oh, it could be plenty an
let's see.
FTA. I have our 20-meter dipole me and you built TO set up in the backyard right now.
Oh, awesome.
I was playing with it on FT8 the other day.
Yeah, we did that
You-
live on my channel on Ham Nuggets.
Yeah, I gotta
have a
find that
G90
link so
now,
I can
right?
put it in the description.
Who has a G90?
Doesn't
Frank does.
Frank have a G90?
Frank
Yes, I
has
do.
my G90, which is actually his. I gave it to him. When I was cleaning out the shack the other day, Frank, I found my G sock. If you want to tinker around with that, you're welcome to
Ooh,
it.
yes.
Look at that, Frank.
It's a total piece
You
of crap.
blinged it?
I blinged out my
He
G90.
blinged it. That's awesome.
I'm done,
That
guys.
cool.
I have nothing else to say after
Mhm.
that.
That added at least double the value.
Oh yeah, of course.
at
yeah.
least-
It's one
at
of a
least
kind
double.
now. It's one of a kind now.
Jeez.
Okay.
So I have a video coming out on that, but they are the same knobs. It's the same diameter knobs that you put onto your guitar, your electric guitar, or your electric bass.
Hmm.
So you can go on Amazon and find thousands of different shapes and sizes. You can get skull knobs if you wanted, Frank.
Ooh.
Oh, Mike KMRD skull knobs on the G90. Make it so.
Mhm.
There we go.
Oh, now I got to drop the video before Mike goes and makes one.
You better drop that tomorrow.
He's probably unpacking his G90 Go kit right now. It's like, oh, where is that? Okay, I can't get this kit to go through there as well.
We should do
It's
solder
like
on
there will
there.
be a CB radio here in a minute.
Solder the lug on the your ground lug there, and then just put it
I
in.
soldered the
solder
ground. I
and
soldered the ground lug. This is already soldered to the ground lug.
Okay.
Okay,
The other one.
so-
The other one where you want to hook
The
it
other
to.
ground lug, that one.
Faster. Solder that one, and then just
This one here.
and
Okay.
just add it later.
Add the
Heat solder up
capacitor
and add it.
second.
Mike says,
yeah.
I will not bedazzle my G90.
I
That is
will
not what I heard in my head when I read that.
I will not bedazzle.
Bedazzled.
Bedazzling. K5YVY. Thanks for the contact, Joe.
A5YVY. Dude, I love making contact with Joe.
Joe, I'm on 80 meter FT8, buddy.
Okay, let's go left-handed with
Are they
this.
fighting on 80?
Are they?
I'm on
FT8.
FT8. I don't know. I don't talk on the radio. I
Oh.
just
Oh,
FT8
they
on the
don't. They
radio.
don't fight on FT8. 80
Jim's
also?
antisocial.
I know.
Yeah,
I was just kidding.
I
was
mean ham
kidding.
radio. I don't talk on it.
Jason, I don't remember if you scraped the
I did.
enamel. Okay.
Yeah, he was doing it with his knife.
I did.
If not, just let it get
Important
hotter
question.
longer.
Do what?
Are these in stock right now?
Yes, they are.
These are in stock, Jim.
They
We've
were
got
when I looked earlier.
we've got 8 of one and 20 of the other. Which one is it, Chuck? We got 8 Artemis and 8.
No, we got 8 Mercuries and
Now, what's the
20
difference? Because
Apollos.
I was trying to get you guys to say that, or maybe I'm
The Mercury is a linked dipole, and the
Yeah.
Apollo is the one you're building. It's an NFED
Gotcha.
half wave.
It's an NFED. Okay, so the NFED's the one I was really interested
So
in.
what is
We've
linked
we've
with?
sold the Mercury. We sold out of the Mercuries on the website once, but Chuck had enough parts and was able to scrounge several of them together, and then we. I don't know. I haven't looked at the website to know how many's officially on the website, but Chuck has plenty of them.
Yeah.
Stephen Reynolds, are you calling us names or are you saying you're one of us? I can't tell.
When you say linked dipole, do you mean it's a 20, 40, 80?
No, it's 40, 20, and 10 is the way we have it set up. You can make it anything 40 or higher, whatever you, if you want to do 50, if you want to do 15, 12, whatever you want to do, because you have the wire for it, right? But
Jim,
actually,
it says out of stock for the Apollo.
I'm checking now.
I shared it in my email blast I sent out today to 14,000 people.
That
so
may be why.
Maybe.
That may be why.
The hammer
Nobody
used
reads
that
those.
effect.
Nobody reads my emails, but I do send them. So
I saw the email, but I haven't checked the antenna email because we don't ship on Sundays. So
I
it's
read the
no point.
subject line and the first line that
Welcome,
shows up in Gmail.
So you know which one to delete, right, Frank?
Yes.
right.
I don't know
Yeah.
how many times I signed up for his email. He sends me the link. Hey, is this working? Yes, that works. Great.
Oh
you
yeah, I
sign
did
it
do
up.
that a couple times, didn't I?
A number of times.
I did do that.
I don't have any
Yeah.
box, but I mean, if you sold 20 of those things tonight, I'll have to start. I get my exercise by walking the wire out, back and forth, back and forth.
Walking the wire. That's a good idea.
I've got a stake I throw on the ground outside. I wrap it around it, and I walk it in with a tape measure and measure them all by hand. I tried to get one of those. I tried to use a fishing thing that it shows you how far you go, but it was never right. I couldn't get it to work right.
I wish I could get this to go in the hole in the ground lug hole, but I can't get it to go in there.
It may not fit because we could have gone just a little smaller on that
We
mag
sold
wire,
4
which would
today.
help.
Awesome.
Okay, good.
Thank you, Jason.
How come we're out then?
Because that was all that was on the website. I
was
put
gonna
in
say-
whatever number y'all tell me you have. That's all I know.
If you look in our Discord, we told you 20 and 8 today.
As well as breath control.
Which time, Chuck?
Most effective.
Which time?
Today.
Try to knock it out in only 3.
Today. Well, I was doing other things today other than sitting there and waiting for wisdom from you and Ape.
How dare you?
Yeah,
No.
sorry.
I told you this like a
look
week
at that.
ago when I went to Pacificon. I'm
How-
not
How
saying
is
anything, you know.
Pacificon, Chuck?
It's all right. It's nothing like like Dayton or none of those things. It's,
Well, no,
it's,
of course
it's,
not, but,
It's the
you know.
biggest thing on the West Coast, basically, I guess.
Is it? Yeah.
It's not. It used to be bigger.
Yeah.
Once things happen, it's vendors don't show up anymore,
Yeah.
and I guess
All
a lot of places have that problem also.
Yes.
We have 8 Mercuries on the site and we have 0 Apollos. How many Apollos would you like me to add right now?
Well, I have
And 4,
20.
I sold
I have
4.
20, so
So I
16.
need to add 16.
Sir.
And then I guess I'm gonna have to work again.
So
Get to
you
work,
hit it here
Chuck.
first. 16 are coming up. So go
They're ready.
ahead
They're
and
So
built.
let's go sell those. Let's go
refresh
sell them
that
out
site.
tonight. Let's go sell them out tonight, guys.
So Pete's asking a question. Is this purely for POTA or SOTA, or would it work okay in a weather-tight enclosure? It will work in a weather-tight enclosure. We just do
Okay,
not
then.
sell it with a weather-tight enclosure. Jim, you left yours out in the weather, right?
Oh, yeah. Mine stayed out for 2 or 3 weeks.
Hmm.
It's fine.
The nylon's
So-
pretty durable.
So a question about the build here. We're soldering a capacitor between the positive and negative
Yes.
points
setup.
in the antenna.
Right.
Yes.
Why are we
Correct.
doing that?
So I don't know, Chuck, I can answer this or you can answer this. What do you want to do?
Go ahead. I mean,
All
go ahead.
right. So what happens is the capacitor is acting as a trap. So it will enable a different range of frequencies to be tuned in with the antenna than you could get without it. I'm not sure where the number is, but the antenna acts differently at a certain frequency. It doesn't see the capacitor at all. because
Right.
RF is magic, and then at a different frequency, the capacitor helps to bring the tune into alignment.
You can also put a little coil. I forget where. I think it's towards the end of the
Towards the
wire,
end, yeah.
and that
Okay.
will help some of the bands also. But
Thank you,
we don't
Jim.
do that because ours is pretty much set up for portable. It's not really. If we were going to do like a more of a permanent fixture at your house, we would probably do it in a box, and we'd probably use different wire.
Okay.
This wire is really pliable, but I would probably use more of a steel type wire that wouldn't stretch as much if you're leaving it up all the time.
Okay, with the exception of the connection from here to here, between
You're all
these two
done,
points,
yeah.
that's done. So, and I'll need to tighten this down with a better pair of pliers in a bit to tighten the BNC lug here.
Mhm.
And
You know,
also
works good,
this
Jason?
here. What's that?
Take one of like a fitting or something,
Yeah.
and put that
Yeah.
on there to hold it. It gives you more to grab.
Oh, there you go. That's a good idea. Okay.
And we
Jason.
did. Oh, one of the other things on our new winder, you
Mhm.
probably noticed that it has the flat spots on it now. That was somehow that.
Well, I didn't see the
make it-
first one, so
well,
you're talking about here?
No,
you
in the
built-
BNC hole.
You built the one with the box on it, right? It probably didn't have.
Oh, yeah. Well, this is Sean's, but yes, this guy right here.
it. That was our original winder without the
Yeah.
box.
Yeah, y'all's winder's a little bit bigger than that one. So
Yeah,
I don't know
we-
if that's good or bad, but
It's,
It
it's
actually
good.
takes up the wire a little better.
Size matters.
well,
In that
size,
hole.
size does matter. Size does matter, but if you're wanting to
that
be
hole.
small and lightweight, then
Hey Jason, TL just went ahead and posted a link to get the new antennas. Can you pin that?
I can.
You don't have that.
Or you can
ability
just-
anymore?
I don't have that juice. So that was thank you, Tio, because I tried and it wouldn't
ranked
let
it.
me.
Oh, I didn't see it holding your
Place pin
comment.
message,
I'm
so.
sorry.
Okay, so we need to go. That's a.
And someone asked a question about
Odd.
your wraps being loose, and I think we talked about that once already,
we
but
did. Mhm.
it doesn't really matter, guys. The difference is going to be an inch or two a wire, 0.1 in SWR. Like Steve said, yeah, we did talk about it. Spend your time making a toroid or spend your time making radio. So
Yeah, guys, I don't do anything. Yeah, I don't do it pretty. I don't do it pretty.
and the
I
building
do it if-
antenna thing ain't my jam.
Yeah,
either, dude. I'd rather play with the radio than screw
Yeah.
around with toroids.
I don't do it pretty,
There
but
are-
it's effective. It works.
Yeah.
So
There
it's all-
are
it's
some
all in
people
character.
that tried their best to get every single element of the DX commander at 1-to-1 resonance at their chosen frequency, and I think that's pretty cool. I don't have the
Too much
patience.
work.
Yeah.
There's a tuner in radios to do that fine tuning for you. Just get it really within the ballpark.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Josh. We appreciate that. We spent a lot of time on that kit. There was a lot of back and forth figuring out how we're going to get everything in there.
Quick programmers know Rhea is not streaming, so we could go a little
Okay.
long if you want to.
Yeah, we're at about an hour, so I figured that this one would take a little bit longer, and that's okay. I
I
don't.
thought you did this
I
one
don't-
pretty fast, Jason. Really?
Well,
think-
you
I think
guys,
you're getting
you guys
faster.
make fun of me, and I make fun of myself, and it's all good. But I've actually built an infed half wave several
You
times.
didn't see me
Oh, I know.
building mine.
No, I'm
I'm
serious.
not,
There's a reason there was no video of that. Well, number
Well,
one,
see,
there was too much swearing. It'd been
if
one
you-
solid beep.
If you really, really want to humiliate yourself, build one on a live stream. That's what,
Yeah,
that's what I
right.
say.
Right.
Well, it's a lot harder if you're actually looking at the camera and all the other stuff and
Yes,
trying to talk.
that's true. Also, yeah.
It is harder on camera.
Okay.
I have
All
to
right.
break myself of that habit. When I'm doing builds, I'm always looking up at the camera to check focus. So if I'm watching myself and building, I'm like looking at the camera every 2 to 3 minutes.
Oh, wait till
All
you
right,
get
so if-
done and it's not in the picture anymore. And it's like, dang, I just
Been
built
there.
this thing and it's not in the
Yes,
picture.
Joe.
So if
But
I'm
the
reading this
focus was
correctly,
off.
and this is hard to see because the winder and the wire are both black. Unlike the picture I'm looking at here, which the wire is red. So I need to strip this wire here. I've got it fished through here. Okay.
Mhm,
And I've got
right.
it kind of pulled tight, and
Pushed
I've got a
to the
knot
very
tied
end.
right here.
You didn't do that, Chuck.
I didn't do what?
No, Jason didn't do that. Jason, if you hold this up on end and look at it, there's a hole right there.
Oh yeah.
You
Oh,
don't
is that
have
where it's
to,
supposed?
Yeah, it goes through
But
there.
yeah, it can go through there.
You know, Sean did that with his, and I had a bear of a time getting that thing to go in there and turn 90
this
degrees.
You went with this
No?
one. We fixed that. We
Okay.
fixed that. That was the old style.
Okay.
I didn't do it. I did exactly
leave it
what
that
you
way.
did right
I
there.
can do it.
Oh, did you really? Okay.
Yeah,
I do it
it
one-
doesn't matter. That's how I did it. Was easier.
Chuck can do it with both eyes behind his back.
Well, not quite. I
Both
had to have
eyes.
glasses, dude.
His eyes behind his back with his glasses
Both eyes
on.
behind his back. Yeah. I get
Somebody got the joke.
With my
I
eyes
got
on.
I got
I have a special behind the scenes announcement that just came through, and if you are a follower of the What's Up with Six YouTube channel, he says he's going to be giving away one of these antennas. So be sure to head over there and join up and ring the bell and all that fantastic jazz.
Uh-oh. Giveaways are my thing. You can't do that, Vern.
Oh, sorry. Jason is going to be giving away one of these
Yeah, I'm just
antennas
kidding.
live
Jason
on
will be
the
giving
stream.
away 16 antennas
Yeah.
tonight in one fell swoop.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was easier. You're right, Chuck. Okay. So there.
So
Is that right? Yes. That's
So
right.
can you emphasize real
here.
fast what you just did?
So there's a hole right here
Mm-hmm.
in the end of this right here, and I
It's hard to see.
fished. Yeah, it's all black, so it's hard to see. I fished the wire through the hole there, and then kind of poked it up through this hole here. So it's going to come up this hole, go down that one, and then I'm going to have it come back out this top part right here. It's a lot easier to see on that diagram because they use red wire in their diagram on there. So
Yeah, we have red and black wire. It just depends on what we can get at the time.
I like the red wire. You know, Mike built me that CAHRtenna recently,
Hmm.
and he used that yellow soda beams wire, which
Right.
they call it high vis wire, and that's nice to have. Not only because
High VSWR, high VisWar. is
yeah,
what you
yeah,
said?
yeah, high vis wire. So that's nice to have simply because it's it doesn't keep people from walking into it, but so when you're looking for your own antenna, you're like, oh, there it is. So
Okay, the other thing
It's
I'll
nice
do
to have.
I'll do with where you're at now, Jason, is
Uh-huh.
bend that wire that you're gonna solder to, the magnet wire, down
Right here?
and close to the body of the
I will. Yeah, I
Once
figured
you-
that's what I was going to do.
Body
yeah.
of Toroid.
So-
you don't want to solder on top of it because it will melt it.
Do you want on what melt this?
You can melt that a little bit if you
Yeah,
solder
yeah.
on top of
Do,
it.
do I want to I want to strip this, don't I?
Yeah.
You know what I do? I
Okay.
take a little small pair of pliers and
Uh-huh.
I make a circle in it like an eye,
Yeah.
and then I put the wire through it, and then I'll solder it through that eye. I don't know if it makes a difference or not, but it
I
makes
don't
me feel
really
better.
follow what
You know
you're
what I'm saying?
saying, but
So take the very end of the magnet wire.
oh, the
and
magnet
take
wire.
your
okay.
needle nose and make a real small little
Oh yeah,
circle,
yeah, yeah. Okay,
Little
okay.
and then I'll fill that with solder, and then I'll stick that wire through and let it
That's an idea.
bond.
That's an idea.
It's a nice set of pliers you got there.
It is
Mhm.
Yeah, I've got
nice and small at the end. That's cool.
Yeah, they're not that. This
Your
magnet
focus-
wire. This magnet wire is serious stuff. So
Your
Yeah,
focus
we
kinda-
probably
Is
could
that
have gone down.
14, Chuck, or 12?
No, it's not 12.
It's not 12.
14.
12 is a
forget.
nightmare.
That's right. We had that discussion. I tried it with 12. I stripped out some 12.3. That's a no go.
Christiana's
14 is-
asking, is this the one that I
hard.
built for her? This is a similar model. This is the next version of it. It's the exact same antenna. We changed the frame to be a little more rounded over and streamlined. But yeah, otherwise it's the exact same antenna.
And basically, this is the winder for all of our antennas that we
Wait,
have.
wait. What tool did you just use?
this
Needle nose.
wire strippers.
What?
Yeah, wire strippers. You know what these are? This is an AutoZone special. These are nothing. These are nothing to write home about. This is an AutoZone special. That's all it is.
So you
Yeah,
can
so
get those with
put the wire
Irwin's
in there.
brand name on them if you really want to buy
Yeah.
a brand name. But they do
Yeah.
exactly the same thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude,
You
that
can't
would just look so easy.
I
Like,
don't want
Klein-
to flex, but
Klein-
I only use Irwin on my 7610.
yeah. That Klein makes one too. So
Yeah.
Mm.
If you really want to
yeah,
flex.
yeah.
Can't go
I
wrong
was
with
just-
the Klein stuff.
it was just so easy. I saw that. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
what did you
That's-
just do?
Oh, I can't believe you haven't seen one of those before. Yeah,
Oh,
I've
they're
seen
awesome.
wire strippers, but not the one you just used.
yeah.
It
Oh,
looked
they're
Those
like
things
black
are great,
magic.
Frank. You need to get
These
a pair
work
if you
pretty
ain't
good
got
too,
them.
Frank.
Yeah.
They're not bad. I've come to like these better than I did when I
haven't-
did my review
I have
on
the
them.
wire stripper that you find the right gauge and you clamp down and you pull
Oh,
through.
like that.
Son,
Like that.
no. Yeah.
Yeah,
those
like that.
things.
You have to have good ones of those to be any good.
Yeah. Now on
Don't buy
those,
cheap ones.
if they ain't Klein, you're gonna end up hating it.
Hey, Frank.
Well, these are different brands. They're
Yes.
pretty good.
What do
though.
you got? Those are Klein, aren't they?
No, they look like it. These are. I got it taped up because the handle came off. It's
That
something
looks
they sell them
so
at Hope Harbor or Home
foreign.
Depot.
Vulgar.
Hmm. Yeah, they can't. Yeah, y'all aren't very big in the screen right now, so I'm gonna make y'all's window a bit bigger.
Yeah.
So
over here,
our
that
whole
way.
idea with this antenna is when you hook it up to when you got it hung in a tree or off your pole, wherever, into your coax, it's a nice straight line for everything instead of the coax going off at a 90 or something.
Are you supposed to
that was the
string this
idea.
up at the top?
No, well, you can. Who's it? Chameleon says to do that with one of their antennas, but
So
to me,
you meant
it worked.
to.
It works so good with it at the bottom, and why put all that weight at the top of your
Yep.
your
So
mass,
you're
you
like
know?
Adams. Adams and fed halfway. You string the end of the wire up in the tree,
Right.
and
That's what
then you have your connector at the bottom and the toroid at the bottom.
Adam does it like ours, actually.
Yeah.
Does he not?
I'm just kidding.
Oh, well, you never can tell.
E-Ray's got it right.
I tell all my overland buddies stories about Adam. I was like, yeah, I got this buddy who likes to buy stuff as they're going out of production.
And then
Because everything he owns, all his tents, all his sleeping
Mhm.
bags, all his hiking gear. Yeah, they don't make this one anymore. Yeah, they
yeah,
don't
after
make this
after
one
he gets you
anymore.
all excited about it.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm
exactly.
gonna get one of
yeah.
those.
I'm like,
I think Josh has done that to me a couple times too.
that wouldn't surprise me.
Not very often. Usually Josh's stuff is newer stuff, but and it's been a long time. I forget he did something on one thing. Oh, what is it that he has that you can't buy anymore? And he got me all like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get one of those, and then nope, you can't.
Okay, that's not pretty, but it is there. Okay, good.
Yeah, you got your capacitor down nice and low because once you cover
Yeah.
that,
I would
with
have cut
the-
off more of that leg, but that's
This one right here.
that one on the side, Jason, of the capacitor.
I usually
just
shorten
tighten-
those about.
Oh,
Tighten
over
that
here?
thing up because that's
Yeah.
going to be high voltage up there, and yeah,
It's kind of resting against this this magnet wire here. Is that gonna matter?
I usually shorten mine up and just tuck it right underneath, right in the middle,
yeah.
just
that
so.
that leg that you've got over to the ground lug, I'd chop that and
Here, this one.
stretch that thing out as much as you can.
Okay. I didn't want to cut too much of it off, I mean, because you cut it
probably
too
won't
short,
make a
you can't
difference,
add
though.
it back on there. But
Yeah, you can. You just put on more solder
Yeah,
until it
just-
catches.
I got to still too
for
short.
the hell of it,
Oh, I love it when you cut it a little short. Now I can resolder something
that's
on there.
fine right there. Okay, I'm gonna do that.
Done that before.
All right. So is that it?
Just
Ugly, but
tuning.
it's
dude.
there.
Just tuning now. And tighten
Yeah.
your
Tuning's the-
A lot of
beans
people are
when you get a
calling
chance.
You got
for
a
hot
multimeter?
glue.
I do not have.
what?
No, it's in the.
I
truck.
don't know.
for what?
I was asking to hold down connection points.
We don't put
to-
anything in there that retain more heat, except for the. He has a piece of heat shrink that goes to the top.
Mhm.
Yeah. So this
Brian,
is the heat.
no.
This is the heat
And-
shrink here, that opens up
Yeah.
like this, and then you can
And that-
stick the whole thing in it right. I don't know how that does that work.
It goes go from the other end. Oh no, you can't now. Yeah, you can go from there. It'll make it.
Yeah, it's really
Be
tight,
gentle.
but
It is.
just like
And you
that.
just keep working that stuff real slow,
Yeah.
and it'll take
Yeah.
all the wrinkles out
Yeah.
of it if you're
then
patient
I'll
with
just
it.
heat gun it. Okay, well I'm not going to do that right now because
sure.
I want to tighten this. I want to tighten this down, and I want to tighten this down.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to do that at this moment in time. But I think is that not done? Is that
That
it?
looks good. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it, dude.
Looks good.
All right.
You can
So
straighten
I
up
will-
you can like space your wraps a little more evenly if you want to.
Yeah.
Now,
I'd try it, though.
someone mentioned hot glue, and I would not cover the thing in hot glue because Chuck is right. It's just going to hold in heat. But if you want to space your wraps out and they're giving you grief, I don't see any problem with it. And I did it. I put hot glue
That's-
on it just to.
That's what the KM4ACK antenna is suggested. It just drops hot glue on top of it.
Yes.
Yours actually looks,
Because he doesn't have
the
this.
left
He
side
doesn't
looks
have.
really good.
He
and the
doesn't
other
have
side,
this.
Yeah, those wraps
The
don't
loop,
look
the
bad. and-
loops are a little big. I can see that.
Yeah.
I was afraid I was going to run out of wire, honestly, but no, it worked out well.
Yeah, we
Perfect.
gave you a little bit
So-
extra.
Yeah. Well, I my problem was I thought I did the twisted part a little bit too long, so I thought the other end was going to be too short. But it wasn't. It turned out okay. And then make sure these zip ties stay down in the center there. So yeah, so I'll tighten these two nuts down. This counterpoise one here, and I might go ahead and put this on just for the hell of it as well.
Did you pre-cut the counterpoise to the correct length, or we're gonna have to do that?
Ray.
No, I didn't do that, and quite frankly, I don't like using a counterpoise on. It's just more wire to keep up with, and the CAHRtenna and the spark plug gear antenna I have, they don't require counterpoise, or at least they work fine without it. Let me rephrase. They work fine without it.
The primate would have a heart attack if he heard me say this, and y'all don't tell him. I mean, I know
the primate.
He's probably
it's
watching.
just us here. He hasn't said anything in the chat, which I find it hard to believe if he's here watching.
Yeah.
I tried it with the counterpoise and I
suck.
tried it without the counterpoise, and I couldn't tell a heck of a lot of difference either way.
I've done that with obviously not with this antenna, but I've done that with other antennas, and I agree. I couldn't really tell.
I had that hanging off of a tripod mast, an aluminum tripod mast from Gigaparts.
Yeah.
And then strung up into a oak tree limb.
Yeah.
And it was probably about 4 feet off the ground, and I played with it with the counterpoise on it, without. Same.
Yeah. So I'm going to tighten those two down, put the heat shrink on. I actually bought a heat gun. Mike, CAHRtenna, I was watching him build something, and he's like, I use my heat gun to do the heat shrink, and I'm like, why have I never thought of that? I just always, get out the Bic lighter or the torch light, my cigar lighter, but he had a real heat gun. I'm like, so I went and bought a heat gun, so I've got that.
Did you see
They
the
sell a
little one I
really
bought?
nice one on Amazon. It's like
it's an Amazon special.
about the size of a soldering wand kind of deal.
Yeah. So I bought that, and I can put that on. But I'm going to tighten those down, put that down, wrap up the wire, and then when I go out, I'm going to the beach next week, and I will hopefully, fingers crossed, have time to go do. I will have time to go do an activation. I just make sure I got time to do something else.
Just remember, you're going to need to cut about 30 feet off the end of that antenna because you still have the counterpoint attached.
Yeah.
Well,
it's not going to tune when you first set it up.
I can,
And you're not going to remember that. You'll be like,
so the spark plug gear wire I bought there, and their antenna doesn't come with wire, or at least it didn't when I bought it, because I bought the 100-watt. He came out with that 20-watt version, and I'm like, QRP, let me know when you have a real antenna. I didn't say that to him. He's a nice guy. I met him at Hamvention. So he did the 100-watt version, and I bought that, and it came pre-assembled and all together, and it didn't come with any wire. So I'm like, okay, so I'll get on this website, and Adam sent me some of his. It's not what's the 26 gauge stuff he likes?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Polystealth.
Polystealth. He said it wasn't Polystealth, but it was very similar. He sent me some red wire. I'm like, okay, cool. So sparkpluggear.com says for 40 meters, again, you can do any. I could make it 80 meters. I could make it 17 meters, make it whatever I want to. I wanted 40 meters. For 40 meters, you measure out 66 feet and 6 inches. I did that almost exactly. I'm like, this is like 66 feet and like 5.75 inches, something like that. I ended up having to cut about a foot off of it, maybe a little bit more than a foot, to get it to get it resonant, not to tune, to get it resonant on 40. And once I got it resonant on 40, it was resonant on 20 and 15 under 1.5 to 1, and 10 meters is like 2.1 to 1. I'm like, that's fine. I can leave that there.
It's probably, if you go way up in 10 meters, it's probably pretty decent though.
It is, yeah. Up in the FM portion of the band, it was fine.
Right.
But down like around FT8, or at the time when I measured it, I'm like, there's nothing on 10 meters right now, but FT8. So
we found the velocity factor on this wire. It'll be shorter than probably most of the wire that you've used.
Okay.
I could actually give you if I haven't measured mine a long time, but I know exactly about how much it'll be.
My experience has been that it really depends on your soil content. So when I measured that spark plug gear antenna, I was at the beach. I was literally about 2 feet above sea level when I measured out that antenna. And I went and activated the state park, the Galveston Island State Park, with that antenna 2 days in a row. I made 104 contacts the first day and 96 the second day, so I made 200 contacts in 2 days. And I was getting excellent signal reports. I was like, this was easy. I really like this antenna, and I had a really good experience with using that, and it was like 64-ish feet of wire, and I'm like, oh, well, that worked out just fine. So I suspect that this will be similar to something like that. Yeah.
And so before we go too far away, go ahead, Jim.
That wire that we used, that's the BN Tech Go, right? Because somebody mentioned that in the chat.
Yeah.
The BN Tech Go silicon wire. Wire.
That's the no. It feels like no memory wire.
No, it's
It
good
doesn't
stuff.
have much memory at
It
all.
ain't got none. Mm-mm.
Okay.
That's what I don't
Okay.
like about, like I said before, if you're doing a permanent one, the poly stealth is fine. I don't like it for portable antennas. It's just because when you pull it out, just like you can see every wind.
Mhm.
And it's
Yeah, that's true.
It's
And
my problem. That's my problem. I just don't like the looks of it.
yeah,
But it works
and
fine.
that stuff that Adam sent me is not. It doesn't have as much memory as Polystealth does. But Mike likes the Soda Beams wire, and I think the Soda Beams wire is not quite as limp
Right.
and flexible as
haven't
this
used
is, but it's pretty darn close. And it's got the high. They make it in yellow, so it's got the high vis.
We can probably get this in yellow at times, but especially once things get better about ordering. But right now, we order what we can get. I mean,
Sure, yeah.
We ordered like
I don't
10,000
like-
feet or something.
Yeah, I don't like the black simply because it's just harder to see. It doesn't make any freaking difference at all as far as performance of the antenna.
No,
of
no,
course.
you are completely
So,
right. Even
yeah.
I put streamers in my last video of Mike
Yeah,
on
they still can't see it.
the little flagging tape
They can't.
well hanging off,
Right,
and
no.
people are still walking into it. But make it, and I have a giant orange pole I also put out.
Yeah.
The only thing I
still
say,
walk right through it.
if you're in a place where there's a lot of people walking around, just mount it higher. Mount it 6.5 feet off the ground
Yeah.
and just go with it.
Josh saying a soda beam wire is amazing.
Yeah, Soda Beams wire is great. That time that I had the spark plug gear at the Galveston Island State Park, I think my feed point was about yay far off the ground.
Mhm.
I just tied some paracord to the other end of the wire and put a stake in the ground, and then put it up my spider beams mast, and then I just pulled it until the mast was bent over a little bit, but I just pulled it until I got it about yay far above the ground, and just paracorded it down to a ground stake and ran some coax to it, and it was perfect. So
This is a question we answered I think once or twice in the chat, but I've seen it again a couple of times lately.
Mhm.
How much power can this antenna handle?
yeah, everybody wants to know that. 100 watt sideband,
Right.
50 watts FT8.
Yeah.
If you have something that you would like to test,
Buy one and let
And-
us know.
buy one, test it, run a kilowatt through it,
We have
record it on video,
Yes.
and I'll bring you onto a live stream and be happy to play your video.
We'll put
got-
it on
I
Coffee
got
and Ham
about-
Radio on Saturday morning for
That's
everyone
right.
to share the moment.
That's right. Yeah.
I actually tested it to 300, I think, one day, and it
You
lasted
said
about
200 a minute
5
ago,
minutes.
so now
No,
it's
no,
300.
it'll
It's
work on
getting
200.
late,
No,
Jason.
it'll work on
It's
200.
close to his bedtime.
No, it works on 200, but then I brought it up to 300, and it only lasted like about 3 or 4, maybe 5 minutes.
Did it smoke
it
or
started
just
heating
this,
up.
the toroid
No, it just got
saturated?
hot. It just got hot. And
Yeah.
I just stopped.
Okay. Yeah. hmm
Legal
I
limit
was
for a
testing it-
second.
In
Josh
Arizona,
says.
I was testing it out pretty good.
Right. Here's James. I walk into my own antenna. It is red, and I know where it is.
Way to go,
Right.
James.
Oh, I've tripped
That's
over
good.
mine too.
Oh, I've tripped over mine a bunch. Yeah, but I use that ABR coax makes those colored covers. It's
Yeah.
not actually the coax, but they make this cover this
It's green. Or
Well,
yellow.
no, mine's orange, but they make them in multiple. They make them red, orange, yellow,
Yeah.
and everything. So I use the orange stuff out there, and I'm like, man, that's nice because you can really tell where that's. And people see it, and it doesn't keep them from stepping over it, but they actually see it and they kind of step over it. They're still walking through your antenna area, but at least they don't step on it. So
I've actually
it's
put mine,
helped a little bit.
like hung it off a branch and then brought it down to the ground.
yeah,
So it's up
Yeah.
higher where people walk. So, I mean,
it's a good idea too.
Earlier,
It all
when you were
works.
talking about heat sinks, KAMRD and Josh were talking about the Harbor Freight heat sink gun you can
Heat gun.
get.
Heat
And
gun?
they
Not
Oh,
love
heat
it.
gun.
Yeah.
Heat sink
The
is different.
opposite.
than
I'm
heat
sorry.
gun.
I'm sorry.
Opposite of
Heat gun.
Do not put
Yeah.
a Harbor
Gun.
Freight heat gun on that antenna. No.
And when you were talking about going and activating at a beach, when do you think you'll be activating? People want to know times.
So good. So my
And-
plans to go to the beach have changed several times this month. We just got a lot going on right now. Originally, my wife and I were going to go down today and stay for about 2 weeks. but our plans got changed. I actually have a doctor's appointment I have to go to on Tuesday, so we talked about going down on Wednesday. I will be interviewing Dan, KB6NU, who's going to be teaching the technician class. He wants to come on and talk about some stuff that ARDC is doing for grants and whatnot. So we're going to have him on the show on Wednesday, the lunchtime live stream. And then we're going to probably drive down to the beach after that, and I've got some stuff down there I need to do. But I don't know how long we're going to stay. I'm probably going to stay through Sunday at least. And if I stay through, assuming that I stay through Sunday, I will probably go out to the beach on Saturday, this next Saturday, and activate. I will go activate Galveston Island when I'm there at least one time. I just don't know when yet. So I'll okay. You guys, if you guys don't use Ham Alert, go download and install an app on your smartphone, iOS or Android, either one, called Ham Alert. And then you can go in there and you can add people's call signs. Like right now, I just got an alert that KM9G is activating FT8 on what was that?
20 meters.
Was that 20? Okay, I didn't see. There it is. Yeah, 14.074. So boom, it just told me, hey, Steve's on FT8. So I got a lot of these guys added to Ham Alert. So Ham Alert's a freaking awesome app. You can add. I've got some special event call signs on there that pop up every now and then. So. Like what is it? NN4SA is one of the NASA ham radio calls, NASA club call signs down there at no, it's not. Where is it? It's in Huntsville, I think. I think those guys are in Huntsville, outside the Space and Rocket Center. So NN4SA, I've got them added.
We still need to go down there, Jason.
I know. Yep. So anyway, yes.
Any weekend you tell me, I will be there. My calendar will instantly clear up.
I was really wanting to go to Galveston for the last half of this month and spend the last half of this month there, and I just couldn't work it out with my schedule. So, but we'll do some stuff. We'll do some stuff this winter there. Mm-hmm. So, cool. All right.
A couple other quick comments I copied down from the chat. And I'm going to agree with these. Our Don says Frank needs a raise. Then Rodney agrees with them. And Wild Ham seconds Don's comment.
Good. I will double Frank's pay tonight. I will double his pay tonight.
That's a promise you can take all the way to the bank.
Yes, exactly.
And the bank will laugh when the check. When they see the check and all the zeros it has.
Yeah. Where did Chuck go? Did he fall asleep or?
Probably.
Probably.
Time for Geritol.
Narcolepsy.
His video was a little bit choppy, so maybe his internet failed on him. But
narcolepsy is when you fall asleep at weird times, not that other one.
Mm-hmm. Well, cool. Thanks for coming on tonight, guys. What's coming up on? Now, I was in a discussion about something totally unrelated and I mentioned about you guys streaming twice every weekend, and Ape said y'all don't do that anymore. So when is Coffee and Ham Radios actually on these days? Because I know you guys have changed it.
We're on Thursday nights at 7 Central, which is Cafe Noir. And you have to say it with a fake French accent when you say it. It's required.
So do you not do the weekend thing anymore?
We do Saturday morning.
Saturday morning. Okay.
Saturday morning at 9 Central, and then Thursday night at 7 p.m. Central.
Gotcha.
And the letter I got from Ape's agent about Sunday, we just, fine, no more Sundays. Fine.
Right, yeah, we couldn't afford that. It was just, ain't nobody got time for that. I mean,
this was like a year and a half ago. I remember Chuck talking about, he was this is before you guys created the new channel for it, and he was talking about having to get up at like 4 a.m. so he could start streaming. They were streaming on his channel, and I'm like, why would you go? That means they were starting at 6 or 7 a.m. on a Saturday morning, and I'm like, that's why I don't join. I ain't awake that time on Saturday morning. I got news for you.
9 a.m. Central.
9 a.m.
9 a.m. Okay.
We're civilized, brother. Civilized.
Yeah, I get. Okay. If it's
now,
9 a.m., okay,
Chuck
I can
is
do
in the
9
wrong
a.m.
time zone, though.
Yes, he is. So. Yeah. Chuck's in the wrong time zone. Very true. True statement. So,
he's
all
on
right,
the left
good.
coast.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, figuratively and literally. Hey, thanks, T-Ray. T-Ray, thanks for the super chat, buddy. Appreciate you guys being out here tonight. So, So what do you guys have coming up Thursday? Then do you have something planned already?
We
You have
do.
a topic
Look. Yeah.
topic
probably.
plan.
Are you getting the schedule, T.O.?
I am looking at it. Oh, no, it's Chuck's show this Thursday, and he ain't got nothing planned, and he ain't here to defend himself either.
Oh,
Lord.
no.
Okay.
Oops.
Well, guess what I'll be
Already
doing
gave
since
him a
I am back. I'm going to start doing the playlists again. And thank you to
Good.
whoever took over the
Carlos.
playlists.
Carlos.
Carlos.
Felix.
Carlos did that, and he did a
Yeah.
good job of it too. He kept
Yeah.
everyone honest, kept everyone on point in the chat
Good.
in our Discord chat. So he did a really good job with it. So
I'm going to have to send him some
Yeah.
candy or
Chuck
something.
says
I don't
thank
know.
you.
Yeah.
His internet failed. His
Oh,
blue pill ran out.
I figured
Aw.
that his blue
Aw.
pill ran out. Ouch. I guess I'm old because I get that joke. So
No, blue pill. It's a type of Arduino. What were you thinking about?
exactly what you meant me to think about when you said blue pill, and it's not the Morpheus Matrix thing either. So
No, it's not.
That's what I thought was the Morpheus Matrix thing. I mean,
yeah, I know. Red pill, blue pill.
Right.
Candace Owens, red pill, black. No, that's not what blue pill is. Hey, thanks, Vern. Vern says he can't let T-Ray outdo him, so he gave me a penny more than T-Ray did.
Vern
love
and
it.
T-Ray, y'all are welcome on the Coffee and Ham Radio show.
Please, fellas.
On Monday night.
Damn
Hey, I
it,
just-
we won't dance if you don't want us to dance. We
I
won't
just
dance.
sold a bunch of antennas for you guys. Come on.
You did actually.
So-
We're up to we sold 6. 2 more since
Good.
we updated the site. So
Good.
So the
Good,
current bid is $22.26. Do I hear 22.27? 22.27. Going
So
once.
it-
Frank might dance.
Yeah. Frank might dance.
Frank
So,
will
yeah,
dance,
I
but
mean,
Jason says I
If
can't.
if
on
if
his
you
channel.
if you guys and I've said and Mike when CAHRtenna and myself were at Belton a few weekends ago, I don't remember what antenna we were talking about, but he was talking about something he built that he couldn't get to work. And I built it and got mine to work. Now, mine was ugly, but I can't remember what it was. I remember what he was talking about. And I'm like, dude, if I can build it, you can certainly build it. If I can build this antenna,
Mhm.
anybody can build it. Seriously. So, y'all want a really good performing. End-fed half waves are just tried and true. I mean, I don't mean this derogatory. There's nothing really special about this car antenna. It's an end-fed half wave tried and true design. But the kit is everything you need's right there. It's easy to build, easy to do. So, yeah, if y'all want a really good antenna that's portable and you just throw it in your pack and you don't even know it's there, it's a great option.
I
And
think
it's
we're
built-in wire winder.
where
Right.
that kit really shines is that winder. We
Yeah,
don't
that
3D
winders.
print those winders. Those are professionally done.
Nylon.
Okay.
That is not 3D
Feels like-
printed at Jim's
yeah.
house, in between cat
Yeah.
pictures or something. So
Yeah.
and that's a big piece
Yeah.
of what makes that antenna stand out
Yeah.
a little bit, really,
Yeah.
is that winder.
Mike,
Solid.
I think now that I think about it, Mike, I think we were talking about the spark plug gear antenna. And I think maybe you had the QRP one and I had the 100-watt one, and I was like, mine works great, and you said you didn't like it for some reason. I don't remember.
Were you
I don't
guys arguing about whose was bigger?
No. He was like, I was saying I built something that he said he built and he couldn't get it to work, but I think he had a different version than I did. So, and he said in the chat, I don't remember. Yeah, I think it was the spark plug antenna. Yeah. So yeah, I think because I've had extremely good luck with that spark plug antenna.
I think it's a fantastic
um,
design.
Yeah, it's a neat design. So, but this is too. So,
I wonder where you got the
never-
idea for the name, though.
it looks like a spark plug when you run the toroid around a BNC and put a little shaft on the other side of it. So, but yeah, good
My
deal.
humor is very dry.
Yes, that's all right. That's why I like listening to you. So cool. Thanks. Hey, Steve, Jim, and Chuck. Thanks for being on tonight. Appreciate y'all taking the time out.
Welcome.
And great job with the design of this thing. And I'm gonna finish it up, put the heat shrink on it, and take it out to do a photo with it. And I'll put a video up about that and let you know when that's done.
Excellent.
But yeah, really appreciate you guys being here and walking me through it and tell me what I'm doing wrong.
I
We
think
did
everyone
take it
loves
easy
that.
on you.
I have no pride, man. When it comes to antenna building, I'm like, all right, yeah, let's do it. And then when I finish, I'm like, okay, no one else has an excuse. If I did it, anybody could do it. Anybody could do
I think you
it.
did a great job with all the state employees standing around supervising the one guy working.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Kind of deal.
Yeah.
So coming up, I just want to talk about before we
Go ahead,
close
Frank.
out on Monday
Yeah.
Night Ham Radio. Right now, it's only you, Jason, and To temporary
me.
offline. No one else is on the schedule yet. So
Don't even
to
know what
all,
I'm doing Monday.
for all
I was
the
gonna ask you,
creators
what are
out
we
there,
doing?
I've got a battery test, another battery test video. Really short video.
Reach into my bag of tricks.
you know where to find us, and to the creators, the schedule's open, and at me the links. Do that before noon. Noon is not the cutoff, but noon is the time I'm going to guarantee you'll be in the schedule. If you do it after the noon, it's up to the work whim. So I will check it at noon Central Time during lunch and put more links in there. But I will be tweeting that out also at noon Central Time, the official link and playlist, and it's going to be awesome.
Good.
Coming up on my
Should
channel
be fun.
though next week is going to be the setup of the Evolve 3 computer. That was a very popular video, which I did not get to watch when I was out at sea. But I did a unboxing and first thoughts on the Evolve 3. So this is the next step in getting it into the POTA pack. And I really
Good.
need to do a POTA pack update. I have several new things in my pack, and I do need to talk to Buddy Pole and get I want a new Buddy Pole mini little thing with the USB port.
Oh, yeah, the Power Mini. Yep.
The Power Mini.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Power Mini.
Fantastic
Charge
piece right
controller.
there. Yep.
Yeah, I want that.
He's
USB port.
he's got limited stock, limited parts on that right now. But he did tell me that if I found anyone who needed one, to let him know. So
I tried to buy one several times, and they're either sold out or they're not.
yeah, I
sold
have the inside track to that, Frank. So
Jason,
assuming
inside
that he
track
hasn't
me.
sold them all by now. Assuming
Yeah.
that he hadn't sold them all by now.
I'll
tell you-
get on the video.
I'll tell you what you do
use
is
it.
you buy him a 4 or 6 pack of a certain type of beer that's here in Texas, and you send it to him, and he'll be your best friend forever. So good dude, but he's a total IPA head, which is nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
Great.
So,
And for y'all, I just did the video of just us Texas boys hanging out. That was the 6 o'clock live
Gosh,
stream.
nice.
And if you head over to my channel, there is a YouTube short on me complaining on what happened and why I couldn't play radio at sea.
Frank ranting.
mm-hmm.
Really, that never happens.
It's not.
Frank, while
it's
you're
not
doing
as,
announcements, Ham Radio Crash Course has a nice announcement.
Ooh,
Yes,
yes.
indeed,
Where,
it
where's
does.
that?
is he giving away 5 CAHRtennas? Where is that going to happen?
I saw that. I was laughing. I don't know.
Yeah, we could make personal appearances at that giveaway.
Oh,
as
so-
well.
so-
I mean,
so-
those were
Can we?
available.
Can we?
So Josh and Vern are now in a war about who will give away more. So I hope. hey, you guys sell to the one who wants to buy them from you to give away, and stiff arm the guy who wants you to donate them to give away. Just that's my advice. So I don't know which is which. I'm just gonna say. No, I'm kidding.
That's all I
But,
had.
Vern, if you're going to do it, son, you need to get on that website because that's it.
Tank Radio, head over
Yeah.
to YouTube, Tank Radio, KG5HJ on other platforms. And I built a face page group thing, so head over there for more Tank Radio news.
You have to send me that, Frank, because I didn't know that until you said that on your stream today. So
Really? I made
No,
a
I
whole
didn't.
big deal out of it.
I didn't see that. I don't listen to most things you say, but I didn't see that. Seriously.
I didn't even know Frank was on the stream until earlier.
Yeah, I know. When he
Adios,
comes in,
guys.
when he comes in and doesn't start yelling, it's kind of.
I was like, "Oh, Frank's here.
yeah,
When did he get
yeah,
here?" I didn't.
Yeah,
even-
yeah. He comes in quietly.
You told me not to yell and take over and
See, yeah. Josh says no war, just 5. So, okay.
Wasn't it
Good.
6 before?
Vern said 6. Josh said 5.
Burn 6. Right.
Vern says
Yeah.
he's going
Vern
to do
has
6.
six.
Vern
Yeah.
6. Vern has to do 6. I mean,
just
It is
Vern
the
six.
Mercury, Stephen.
Vern
Right.
6 has to do 6. Yeah, that's right. So, all right, guys, 73 to all. Thank you for joining tonight. Check the links in the description below for those of you on Team Replay. Everything we talked about tonight is down there, including this antenna build or this antenna kit that you can buy. So 73, and check you next week.